Don't you dare take credit for Martha's work again. Philip's voice boomed from the conference room. I froze just outside the door, files clutched to my chest, anxiety coiling tight in my stomach. You have no idea what you're talking about, Danielle replied, her voice low and icy. I've been cultivating the Synex relationship for months. Martha is simply executing my strategy. I took a steadying breath and stepped into the room. Both of them turned to look at me. Philip, my loyal teammate with the perpetually rumpled blazer, and Danielle Fulton, our newly minted VP of Sales, looking sharp in a tailored suit that probably cost more than my mortgage. Martha. Perfect timing, Philip said, relief in his voice. Tell Danielle who created the Synex pitch deck. My name is Martha Ellison. I'm 32, and I've spent the last 6 years clawing my way up the ranks at Orion Tech Solutions in Cincinnati, Ohio. We build logistics software, nothing flashy, but crucial infrastructure that keeps freight moving across the country. I started as a junior sales associate. Now I'm a business development manager. My Ohio University diploma hangs in my cubicle, not Harvard, not Stanford, and Danielle never lets me forget it. We were just discussing the Synex presentation, Danielle said smoothly, as if Philip hadn't been shouting seconds earlier. I'll need your notes by end of day so I can finalize everything. I met her gaze. Actually, the presentation is already finalized. It's built entirely around the custom supply chain solution I developed for their multimodal logistics. Her smile tightened. Well, I'll still need to review it. We can't risk losing this deal. It's worth $50 million over 5 years. I nodded. I'm aware of what's at stake. What I didn't say. I'd been working on Synex for nearly a year. Early mornings, late nights, weekends. I'd flown to Detroit 4 times, building trust, understanding their pain, points, and creating the solution they needed. As Philip and I walked back to our desks, he shook his head. She's going to try and push you out of the final meeting. You know that, right? I sighed. Let her try. Tasha Brennan won't sign anything unless I'm in the room. What Danielle didn't know, what no one at Orion Tech knew, was that Tasha Brennan, CEO of Synex Holdings, had been my college roommate. We shared a dingy off-campus apartment for 2 years, splitting ramen and pulling all-nighters. We still did brunch when she was in town. I'd never leveraged our friendship. That would have been unprofessional, but it helped open the door. The rest, I earned. Back at my desk, I spotted a new email from our CEO. I was summoned to an executive meeting the next morning. A chill crept down my spine. This wasn't about a promotion. The boardroom was everything I disliked. Too polished, too formal, the air tinged with lemon polish and ambition. I smoothed down my department store blazer and took a seat at the far end of the table, acutely aware I was the only one without an Ivy League degree. Jonathan Pierce, our CEO, sat at the head. His expression was unreadable behind steel-rimmed glasses. Danielle sat to his right, a sleek portfolio open in front of her. 3 other male execs filled out the room, their navy suits indistinguishable from one another. Martha, thank you for joining us, Jonathan said. Danielle tells me you've made significant progress with Synex. I nodded, pulling out my notes. We're in the final stages. They've verbally committed and are scheduled to sign next week. $50 million over 5 years with a renewal option. Jonathan steepled his fingers. That's excellent work. This would be our largest contract ever. Thank you. It's been a team effort, but yes, I'm proud of what we've built. Danielle cut in, her tone smooth. We're just concerned about Synex's enterprise-level needs moving forward. I frowned. The proposal directly addresses their IT department's concerns. The implementation plan is robust. Danielle didn't blink. It's about relationship management. A client this size requires a certain finesse. My stomach dropped. I'd seen this move before. Danielle had a habit of swooping in at the finish line, but never with a deal this big. I've been managing the relationship for nearly a year, I said carefully. Ms. Brennan has requested that I oversee implementation. Danielle offered a tight smile. Of course, you've done excellent groundwork, but. The word hung in the air like a guillotine. Jonathan finally looked at me. There's no issue with your performance. You've exceeded expectations, but as we grow, we must consider the image we project. Danielle has experience with Fortune 500 accounts. Translation: she has a Harvard MBA and the right connections. I had results, and apparently those weren't enough. The following week blurred by in a haze of polite professionalism and quiet betrayal. I handed over everything: files, contacts, strategies. I even wrote Danielle's talking points. Friday afternoon, 3 days before the signing, I received another meeting invite. This time, HR was copied. The pit in my stomach deepened. When I entered the boardroom, a manila folder sat in front of my chair. Ice water. That's what it felt like, pouring down my spine. Martha, thank you for your contributions to Orion Tech, Jonathan began, his corporate mask firmly in place. As you know, we're constantly evaluating our organizational structure to prepare for the next phase of growth. I said nothing. Beside him, Danielle had the grace to look vaguely uncomfortable. We've decided to restructure the business development department. Effective immediately, your position has been eliminated, Jonathan said. 6 years of work dismissed in one sterile phrase. I see, I replied, keeping my voice steady. Why now, days before closing the biggest contract in company history? It's not about SynX, he lied. It's about long-term strategy. We need a team with elite educational backgrounds. Translation: my Ohio University degree didn't make the cut. Danielle leaned in. We're offering a generous severance, 3 months' pay and a letter of recommendation. How thoughtful, I said, bitterness rising. I gathered my things, thanked them with dignity, and walked out. As I packed my cubicle, Philip hovered nearby. This is insane. You landed SynX. You should fight this. They've made their choice, I said. Let's see how it plays out. Monday, 9:30 a.m. I was at home in yoga pants, sipping coffee when Tasha texted, about to head into the lion's den. Wish you were here. Brunch this weekend? I hadn't told her about my firing. I didn't need to. I trusted the truth to reveal itself. At 10:15, Philip called, breathless. Martha, Tasha walked in and asked, Where's Martha? When they said you were gone, she said, Then we need to revisit the contract. It's chaos. Danielle scrambled. Jonathan panicked. But it was too late. The deal hadn't been signed. I'd made sure of that. How did you know this would happen? Philip asked. Tasha was my college roommate, I said. Orion never asked. Within hours, my phone blew up. Calls from Jonathan. Voicemails from Danielle. Even HR reached out. I finally answered Jonathan's fourth call. We need to talk, he said. There's been a misunderstanding. We'd like you to return to oversee SynX. I'm not interested, I replied. We can offer a VP title, equity, name your price. This was never about titles. It's about respect. You made your values clear Friday. He fell silent. Tasha has integrity, I added. If she says I'm essential, then I am. Later, Tasha called. They actually thought I wouldn't notice you were gone. Unbelievable. She paused. But I have another idea. Remember Greg Wilson? Started a logistics firm, direct competitor to Orion. He's been trying to meet with me for months. He's looking for someone like you. Hours later, I met Greg at a downtown cafe. Young, sharp, and focused on results, not resumes. I want to poach you, he said. Director of Business Development. Full autonomy, equity, salary double what Orion offered. I smiled. Send me the offer. By evening, I signed the contract and called Tasha. I'm in, I said. Perfect, she replied. I just emailed Orion, formally withdrawing from the deal. 2 months later, SynX signed with Wilson Enterprise Solutions for $45 million over 5 years. The tech was better. The team was stronger. Other clients followed. My phone rang with inquiries from industry contacts who noticed the shift. I didn't trash Orion. I didn't need to. 3 months in, Philip messaged me. Danielle's out. Board cited the SynX disaster. He joined my new team soon after. One of many ex-Orion employees who followed. A year later, Wilson had grown by 150%, with 3 of Orion's former flagship clients. After a quarterly review, Greg handed me a folder. Inside was a press release. Chief Revenue Officer Martha Ellison. Effective immediately. I smiled. Absolutely yes. That evening, I passed the Ohio University diploma on my office wall and paused. Orion had chosen pedigree over performance, appearances over results. Now they were unraveling. Jonathan had resigned. The company was seeking a buyer. I didn't feel joy at their downfall, just professional closure. Success isn't about where you start. It's about what you build, who you become, and never letting anyone define your worth, but
You.